Oh, hey there. It's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday, right? It's hump day. So return that page. Cowboys are behind us. You know what I'm saying? Stick a fork in them. It's over for them. But now we move on to the Green Bay Packers. How the 49ers match up to the Green Bay Packers with them from a DVOA standpoint. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what that is, but I think, it means a lot. So we're going to get into all that and more. It's San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Crocker over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Croc Talk TV podcast. Peace. Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. I am your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And on today's episode, man, we are getting to everything pertaining to the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. No guest just yet. We will have a guest on tomorrow to really discuss more about the Packers and where they stand right now. Today is all about trying to figure out how the 49ers match up against them. All right. Before we get started, make sure if you haven't already, go ahead, listen to Locked On 49ers with myself and Brian Peacock. Listen to Locked On NFL Draft with myself and Ryan Tracy. All right. Coming at you 5 days a week on both platforms. You can find this right down in the bottom in the description below. It's not too early for draft talk. Well, not if you're a 49er fan. It might be a little too early. All right. You got at least one more week before we get into the draft, at least. And I'm feeling kind of confident that, with the 49ers and where they're at and how they match up with Green Bay. So hopefully this isn't the end of the road for the 49ers. We're going to get into all of that and try to figure out how we feel about this game. They got that boogeyman on the other side, Aaron Rodgers, who hasn't really been the boogeyman to the 49ers. All right, but we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about more. I appreciate everybody who's already in here coming in. There go the Flames. All right, we got the Flames coming in. Y'all know what it is, man. Mental health check. 5 flames if you're feeling great. If you're not, anything less than 5 flames, holla at me. You already know what to do. DM me on Twitter at Eric_Crocker. DM me on Instagram at CrocTime_you. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, DM me, man. I'll shoot you my number. If you're not feeling good, there's something on your mind you want to talk about, man, holla at me. Holla at me. My dog K. Dot. Great Locked On episode today. Croc, appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We had Winky Wednesday, myself, Brian Peacock, Nicholas Winkler. All right, he comes live every Wednesday. So shout out to everybody that listened to that. But y'all know what it is, man. 49ers taking on the Green Bay Packers. And obviously after I get through my spiel, I'll bring you guys on live. The link will be in the chat. So if you're over on Twitter, go ahead, leave Twitter alone. Come over on YouTube. Just type in Eric Crocker. It should pop right up. And we're live right now. You want to join the conversation. You want to get on live. You want people to see your pretty face this morning, or you want to hide it, whatever, but you want to come on live, come over to Twitter. All right, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. All right, here we go. So did I get a DM from you? You gotta leave me on read. Did I leave you on red? Maybe it was, I don't know. I'm gonna get to that today though. There've been a few of y'all that DM me, and I know I'm pretty good at getting back to people. All right, I gave a couple people my number yesterday. Best advice, leave Twitter alone. Twitter can be a little weird. That's for sure. Here we go. Croc, number 12 ain't the boogeyman. We are a super fan for our San Francisco 49ers. Aaron Rodgers. He's not the boogeyman in a sense of like Russell Wilson, kind of what Russell Wilson is to the 49ers. But you just know what type of talent he has. And at any moment, it can kick in. And we saw that week 3. Now, I think most people would tell you that the 49ers are not the same team that they were week 3. And we definitely want to get into that. So let me go into my bookmarks on Twitter because I have a lot of I follow some good people on Twitter, some good 49er people that have some really good notes pertaining to this matchup. All right. And it starts with our guy, Akash. All right. If you guys aren't following Akash, follow him on Twitter at Akash, ANAV. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Anav. All right. But DVOA. Again, I don't know exactly what DVOA means, but I know it takes into account a lot of different things, and then it spits out this number, and then that's how well you're playing. All right, so 49ers defensive DVOA trends. All right, And again, this is Akash's tweets. Weeks 1 through 9, their pass defense was 24th. All right, again, weeks 1 through 9, pass defense 24th. Weeks 10 through 17, pass defense 10th. That's a huge jump. Top 10 in pass defense, according to DVOA, weeks 10 through 17. Or really 18. I don't know if he has 18 on here. Maybe this was before week 18. Weeks 1 through 9 against the run, 5th in DVOA. So, okay, 49 is good against the run. Weeks 10 through 17, 1st. I'm pretty sure that continued through week 18 and probably through the wild card round. 1st in rush defense, according to DVOA. 49ers are really good and really stout against the run. And we're going to get to some of these things because I want to talk about this as it pertains to Green Bay Packers and this weather. All right. There are another couple things. DVOA ranked defense for the 49ers, just defense overall, 4th in the entire league. The offense, 5th. Now, when you look at the Packers, where are the Packers? All right, their defensive DVOA ranks as it pertains to the NFC, 25th overall. Offensive rank by DVOA, 49ers 5th. It's pretty high. Packers 2nd. So obviously we know what kind of offense the Packers have. But who's the most complete team in the NFC? I think if you look at the playoff teams that are remaining, I think it's the 49ers. And who would have thought that when the 49ers were sitting at 2-4 and 3-5? All right, here we go. Here's some more DVOA rankings. All right, and we'll see if you guys have put any super chats. I got my laptop on a different screen. My guy Danny G. All right, Danny G on Twitter at Danny G _49. He says 49ers versus Packers matchups by DVO rankings. San Francisco 5th, Green Bay 9th, and that's overall. All right. Against pass defense, 49ers 5th, Green Bay 16th. San Francisco run offense 7th, Green Bay Packers 28th. Oh, that's their run defense. Excuse me. San Francisco pass defense 10th, Green Bay Packers DVOA pass offense 3rd. San Francisco run defense DVOA 2nd, Green Bay offense 8th. Special teams, wow, 49ers 27th, Green Bay 32nd. So if you look at it, from a DVOA standpoint, the only advantage the Packers have, according to DVOA, is their pass offense against the 49ers pass defense. And even then, the 49ers pass defense isn't bad. They're 10th. That's the only advantage that they have. Which, look who they have. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, they throw to him a ton. They threw to him 18 times in the first matchup. Here we go. One last thing I want to kind of get to is pertaining to this matchup. And again, this is Akash. He's been on it throughout this entire week. Make sure you guys follow him on Twitter. To give an idea of how much different this 49ers team is from week 3 to now, in week 3, Elijah Mitchell did not play. Deebo Samuel had 0 rushing yards. Arden Key rushed 3 times. Now he's a big pivotal part of 49ers defense in general. Lenore and Josh Norman played corner. They haven't seen the field in the last few weeks. And Lenore has been a while. Juwan Jennings did not play a snap. And we all know that Juwan Jennings, he's been a really big pivotal part of the 49ers passing offense. I won't say pivotal, but Juwan Jennings, we haven't talked a whole lot about him, but he has some big-time catches. Big-time catches on third down. Juwan Jennings. He had about, 3 catches on third down that resulted in the first down against the Cowboys. I feel like each one was super needed. I had a text from my coach this morning, right? He texted me at 1 a.m. my time. I was asleep. So he gives me some numbers on, not even just numbers, but he's talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. And he just tweets this. This is at 1:17 a.m. Coach Rob. He's in the chat a lot of times. It says 2 full seasons, playoffs, 2 Super Bowls? ? Right? And he's talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. And if you look at Jimmy Garoppolo's just his overall stats, right? Just his entire career, the 2 seasons that he's played the entire year, and I know he missed a couple games this year, but for the most part, he played the whole year, right? Playoff team. playoff team both times. And both times they won playoff games. And I'll say this. And when people QB wins and all that, and as it pertains to Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy's biggest contribution to win is not, I don't want to come off as a Jimmy hater. It's not like flashy or anything like that, and that's fine. The name of the game is to win. And I think his best trait, aside from the late heroics and clutchness that he typically has, it's those passes to Jennings on third downs. I think he does a good job with that. So if you have a good run game, which the 49ers do, one of the better run teams in the NFL, and you couple that with a quarterback that can just make some throws on third down, and Kyle Shanahan, the way he constructs his offense, stuff like that, you will win games. You'll win games. That was not the case with Nick Mullins. That was not the case with CJ Beathard. That was not the case with Brian Hoyer, right? They could not convert when it mattered most. And I say Jimmy Garoppolo, more times than not, he does a really good job of being good in those type of little moments to keep the chains moving. You know, everybody talks about Jimmy Garoppolo in 2017, and they're like, Jimmy Garoppolo in 2017, he was so good, he's not the same. Like, no, he is the same motherfucking quarterback. He's the same. If you look at what was good with him, we're talking about, if you just look at just stats, right? Just stats. In 5 games, he had 6, in 5 starts, he had 6 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. That touchdown to interception ratio is not great, right? So when people look back on that, they're like, "Oh, he was so amazing." Where he was amazing, if you look at, like, dig deeper into a lot of the numbers, he ranked at the top of the NFL in like third down conversion rate, just the offensive yards per drive. You know, he was winning in those things, and those were big. They were really helping contribute to wins. I don't think he was lighting it up from like an ability standpoint. I think people, when they view Jimmy's ability, they think, oh, 2017, he was so much different. He was not. I see somebody in the chat said, hell no, he was fearless in 2017. He's fearless now. Jimmy is fearless now. He was fearless then, he's fearless now. You know, Jimmy is Jimmy. Jimmy is Jimmy. And what he does well is kind of hard to quantify for other people. And that's why I'm always saying, hey, man, Jimmy Garoppolo, he'd be a good fit for this team, or he'd be a good fit. And the fans always push back because when you watch it, it's not sexy, but he does these little things that really help contribute to wins. And I think throwing passes to Juwan Jennings on third down and moving the sticks and keeping the drive going, I think he excels at that. And that's what makes him one of the better starting quarterbacks in the NFL. I know that's hard for people to kind of imagine. He does some weird stuff. I ain't letting him off the hook for that, but he's gonna keep you in games because of his ability to kind of keep the chains moving. And that's been consistent throughout his entire time with the 49ers. When he wasn't good on third downs early in this year, right? Early in this year, that was the shocker to me. I'm like, what the heck? This is not the Jimmy I know. I know what Jimmy is and what he isn't. I don't think he sucks. I don't think he's great, right? I know what he is. But when he was coming out and not keeping drives going, 3 straight 3-and-outs to start the Eagles game and all those, having weird moments, and he's still kind of having those lulls in second halves of the game. Like, to me, that's not Jimmy. I don't know who that is. Crocker, did you mention that the Green Bay special team is the worst in the NFL? Yeah. So I just saw that DVOA number, 49ers 27th, and we talk about how poor the 49ers special teams is. The Green Bay Packers are 32nd. 32nd. That's not good. I got to go. We're going to have somebody from the Packers on tomorrow. I promise. We're going to talk about that. Clearly, it hasn't been an issue for them. They were the number 1 team in the NFC, so they're still winning games. So, all right. Worst special teams unit. Is special teams a little overrated then? If you are a team that's able to be the number 1 team in the NFC, number 1 seed, number 1, but you're worse in special teams, do we put a little too much emphasis on special teams as it pertains or results in wins and losses? Maybe we pay a little too much attention to it. Because I hear everybody, they're ripping the 49ers. Maybe it's like this. I've been kind of talking about the 49ers and the secondary, right, throughout this year. And everybody tells me how bad the 49ers secondary is and yada, yada, yada. And my thing was, if the 49ers lose a game, it won't be because of the secondary, right? And what I meant by that was, yeah, a team might get theirs here and there, and that's bound to happen. But when you know, use those stats and everything and put that out across the league, the 49ers are actually better than a lot of teams. And I know everybody focus on the specific moment, right? But like, nah, they are. The pass defense typically won't be the reason the 49ers lose a game. They've done a good job of hiding guys and keeping the 49ers in games and kind of limited scoring and all that type of stuff, right? So is it the same for special teams, or we focus on a play here and there where it's like, oh man, look at this fumble. Special teams unit's so trash, we can't win with it, right? Oh man, our kick returner ran the ball to the 22-yard line instead of 25. But maybe are we putting a little bit too much on special teams and how that results in wins/losses? I don't know. What's my guy talking about? Here we go. The Trey Lance stuff. What's the Trey Lance stuff, Jedi? What are we talking about? Okay, he says overthrow wide open receivers, and I believe he's talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, and obviously we saw that. I believe that Jimmy Garoppolo, while he will overthrow a guy here and there, I do think there's a lot of things that he does well throughout games to contribute to wins. And again, it's all goes into the roller coaster of who Jimmy Garoppolo is and why everybody's so split on him. Why I can have my coach text me and say, Jimmy Garoppolo, like in the 2 years he started for, and I was winning a lot of games, playoffs both times. And then when he's played a full year, at the same time, I can look at the game, and anybody with eyes can look at the games and say, this motherfucker's a liability. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very clear. I hear what you're saying, coach. I hear what you're saying. Here's what we're going to do. I would love to hear, your perspective. If anybody, if you are I don't want to say a Jimmy Garoppolo stan, because I like Jimmy Garoppolo for who he is. So I don't want it to come off as if I don't like him. But I would love to hear somebody that does not believe that he's a liability, because I do believe he is somewhat of a liability in the grand scheme of how this team is built, how much talent they have, and what he's capable of doing to kind of do some weird stuff. I think he's you kind of got to limit some things, right? Ian Sharp. Jimmy likes to keep the fans in suspense. He does a good job of doing that. He does a great job of keeping the suspense up. Maybe it's good for ratings. I don't want to call people Jimmy stans, because I don't like how it's like you're a stan for somebody. First of all, I don't even know what the hell stan means. I mean, I know like how people use it, but what exactly does that mean? Like, is there like a definition of a stan? So, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy apologist, Jimmy stands. I would like to have somebody come on and just talk to me a little bit about it, because maybe I'm missing something just a little bit. Somebody said he's an LLC, Limited Liability Corporation. Here we go. I'm going to put this out here now. Where is that at? Grant said Jimmy is both an arsonist and a firefighter. Wow. That is this where it came? We're going to get to that. Hold on. That's the best way to put it. Jimmy starts the fire and he puts the fire out. He's a good firefighter though, right? Can we all agree that he's a good firefighter? Just good enough. Stan so Stan is from the Eminem song back in the day. Hey, mister, I'm too good to read and write my fans. This will be the last time I ever, y'all know what I'm talking about. Wow. Is that where Stan really came from? If so, like, man, I'm so out of the loop on that. I remember that song though. He like had his wife and kids in the trunk and all that type of stuff. Eminem was pretty creative with that. Wow, stalker fan. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Coming on, I got my guy Jedi. Jedi, talk to me about Jimmy G.
Okay, so let me give Jimmy his credit because I don't want to come on here and just bash the guy. Jimmy G, if he could play a consistent game, not a half, a game, a lot of his issues wouldn't be issues anymore. If he'd been playing consistent games instead of halves for the majority of his 49ers stint, there would be no Trey Lance. There would be no talks of another quarterback. There would have been no trade to the top three because he would have been a consistent quarterback. I think the problem I have with Jimmy is the second half of the Dallas game. Now, it's reports saying that, he hurt his shoulder. Well, why? Oh, someone's got to say something because if his accuracy is going to be thrown off to a point where, he's going to lean to this excuse, because that's what it is. It's an excuse. My shoulder hurts. Someone has to be the adult and say, okay, you're a liability now, sir. You have to come out. Let's put the kid in. You can't continue playing a guy who continues to get banged up. And I'm to the point when I'm arguing with these Jimmy stands about where do you get to a point when you say the injuries have piled up, he is now a liability. Like, he's not fighting through it anymore. He's a liability. And I think that's where we are with this Packers game.
But I think he's fighting through it, right? Because he's playing, so clearly he's fighting through it.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every athlete's going to fight through it, but who's going to be the guy who say, okay, I see you're trying to fight through this. Thumbs up to that. But you're also a liability because some of your velocity now has been taken off. You're already not the greatest with velocity, but now the velocity you do have is being taken down and your accuracy is is pretty much affected. So I don't want to go into Green Bay, just wind chill, cold weather, and we need a throw to be accurate because this game to me is going to come down to not a bunch of throws, one or two elite throws that can win us this game. Can Jimmy Garoppolo make 2 to 3 elite throws to win us this game? And I don't know if he got a thumb in a shoulder. And I'm not trying to be. I'm just being realistic.
You were supposed to come on and be a Jimmy Stan, right?
Okay, I'm a Jimmy Stan. Yeah, okay. Let me go back to Jimmy Stan. I feel like
you're like, well, give it to me from their eyes, from their perspective.
From their perspective, I feel like they feel like Jimmy takes a lot of heat, even though he wins, and he hangs on. And a lot of them who I've debated with, they will hang on to the winning record. And it's not a lot you can say about a quarterback who wins. Like when you look at their bottom line and you see the wins compared to the losses. But it's almost like when I try to have that nuanced conversation, I'm like, there are a lot of different things that go into a win. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily the quarterback, but it's, I'm not necessarily saying it isn't either. So, I look at different stats other than win and losses, but I get why the Jimmy stands are on Jimmy the way they are, because at the end of the day, the bottom line record to them is wins and losses. How many wins do you have? How many losses do you have? And that's what they're going to die by that stat. They're going to live and die by that stat. Like, we win with this guy. We don't lose with this guy. I just want those stands to reach for the stars a little bit. Just put your hand up and reach for the stars just a little bit. But if they are comfortable in the house with a win-loss record, I can't bring them out the house and want them to see the beautiful sky that might be above them. If they stuck in the house, they want to be stuck in the house, and that's how I see it. Croc, what about you?
I'm gonna give my opinion a little more, but I'm gonna get to the next caller first. All right.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right. Here we go. Coming on, we got Papa Dragon. All right, Papa Dragon, talk to me. Are you?
Hey, what's up?
I don't even like saying this because it comes off like in a bad way. And for me, I really try to stay neutral throughout everything. But are you a Jimmy stan?
No, I'm a 49ers fan.
Okay. So talk to me about why is there so much like just division between the 49ers fan base on Jimmy Garoppolo and if you don't like, you're a hater, but if you do like him, you're a stan. Mm-hmm. What are people seeing and why are they so divided on this?
I think the main thing is that the 49ers have created a paradigm in their organization that Jimmy G is a winner. So conversely, when he loses, then it's his fault. Or if he's injured, he's not there, they're not winning. So by creating this false paradigm it's almost like a version of entitlement. Okay. He came from the Patriots as an understudy of Tom Brady. So naturally, the word got out that he was going to replace Tom Brady, or at least Bill Belichick wanted him to replace Tom Brady. So a lot of that stuff fueled the whole winner thing, because we all know that Tom Brady is the ultimate winner. Okay. So what happens is that these people are lockstep with Jimmy, no matter what happens with Jimmy, because they say he wins more than he loses. So they've created a paradigm. But the biggest factor of Jimmy G right now is that it doesn't matter what we think as fans. That's the situation. We know that we know overall that Jimmy G is likely to make have a brain fart at least 1 or 2 per game, right? So because of that, as fans, we see that. We see that sometimes I'll call an interception before he throws it. I'm dead. So you can ask my wife. I'll be like, he's going to throw an interception right here in the end zone, and he'll do it. And she goes, how did you know that? Because you can look at his eyes and his head, and he commits to a situation too quickly. So he's liable to make bad decisions. Like, for example, I know this is some ways this is an unfair comparison, but guess what? If I'm playing Jimmy G, I'm going to say to myself, he's going to make a mistake. He's going to give us a chance. He's going to give us an opportunity. I can't say that about Aaron Rodgers. You see what I'm saying? I can't say that about Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes. I can't say that. And more importantly, maybe Pat Mahomes gives you opportunity, but Pat Mahomes is also liable to throw up 4 or 5 touchdowns. So, like, when I watch Jimmy G play, I say to myself, I always give Jimmy G at maximum 2 touchdowns, right? And I'm a big Steve Young fan. So it's that paradigm. But the biggest thing about us as fans is that we always look at the simplicities of the game. We don't look at the overall psychology of the game. And the psychology of the game is that locker room belongs to Jimmy G. Okay, the locker room loves him. He's got some detractors in that locker room. A few of them, I believe Brandon Ayuk is one. At least that's what I heard. But the reality is, even Brandon has his back. Okay,
right.
So no matter what happens outside of that locker room's got him. It doesn't matter what we think. If they believe in him, and belief in a quarterback from a NFL football team is paramount. They have not lost the belief that Jimmy G got them to a Super Bowl and can get them back. So from fans, like I said, we can be as mad as we want. We can want to bench him as much as we want. We can sit there and say, hey, if Trey Lance started from the very beginning, we would probably be pretty close to where we are now. A lot of those things are possibly true. But the reality is that we know what we got with Jimmy. He's the devil, right? So as a coach, you don't think Shanahan sits there and says, okay, well, Jimmy's going to probably lose the ball at least once this game. How do we compensate for that? By taking the ball out of his hands. That's how you compensate for that, right? But even when you take the ball out of his hands, he can make a simple mistake by snapping the ball too soon before his offensive line is set. And we are the most movable parts offense in the league. We always put people in motion, and then he picks that one time to have that brain fart. But again, make no mistake about it. And I agree with Grant Cohn's dad, Lowell Cohn. He said they should have got rid of Jimmy G in the offseason because he understood the dynamics of the locker room. Once they're behind somebody, the loyalty is like 110%. Jimmy would have to throw 3 or 4 interceptions per game, be the undisputed reason why the team loses to lose that locker room. And that's usually not the case because the Niners do make quite a bit of mistakes. Right. And again, the paradigm of the 49ers locker room is not coach-based, it's player-based. So again, Kyle Shanahan isn't the Caesar of that locker room. He's the brain of the locker room, but he lets that locker room take on its own personality. So the personality of that locker room is We believe we can win any game. We believe we can go to the Super Bowl. We can believe that this is a revenge tour 2.0 or 3.0. That's what we believe. And Jimmy G is the guy to get us there. So it's the psychology of the locker room that is what's real. The fans, we're just being fans. We all know he's going to throw an interception. We all know he's going to fumble. We all know he's going to make a stupid pass. We all know he's going to miss someone wide open. We know these things. We understand that. As football people, you and I understand who Jimmy G is. We're football people. I've played the game, but I've been in that locker room too, where I've actually, as probably one of the more cerebral people in the locker room, I'll look at a quarterback and like, this dude, he's not it. But everyone else loves him, right? But I'm like, I don't think this dude is it, right? He's a notch below, but he is the unquestioned leader of the locker room. And that's what your situation is. And that's what you've seen over the course of this season. You've seen literally the power of the locker room and the dynamic that Shanahan has created in a modern day NFL locker room, where the coach isn't necessarily a leader. It's the locker room and that vibe that's the leader. And in today's world, you're talking about the dynamic that you touched on your show once, which I commend you for. And you said you got to talk to people differently these days than you did 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 6 years ago. You just can't be rah, 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 all up in your face, give me 20 kind of thing. You got to kind of kneel down, get to their level, and then get them to choose to do what you want them to do, right? So you see that with Kyle Shanahan. He'll sit there and say, he'll never take blame for anything, but he'll say, we need to execute better. But if you look at the tape, he's right. So these guys have all bought into self-management. And that's what you have with the 49ers. They're a self-managed team, right? With a brilliant coach who allows that locker room. And he's created a wonderful culture there. And Jimmy G is a part of that culture of winning that they have created. Believe it or not, he is. So I'm thankful for Jimmy as far as that goes. But believe me when I tell you, when Jimmy G is on the field, I am clutching my pearls, okay? I'm near heart attack many times, because I just think to myself, Jimmy, if Jimmy was a little bit smarter, and I want to end with one thing. Jimmy G didn't make these gaffes in New England, okay? And notice that Kendrick Bourne said that New England, he said he had never been coached so hard before. He never worked so hard. There's a different dynamic out there. I think Jimmy G works better under Belichick, and I would not be surprised if Belichick gets Jimmy G next year. Bill Belichick, he's closing in on 70. He wants to win now. Mac Jones has severe physical limitations. Okay, he knows who Jimmy G is. Don't be surprised that he goes and gets some Jimmy G this year.
All right, I'm gonna end you on that one, man. I appreciate you coming on.
All right, brother. Thank you. And also, Crocky, great job. Listeners, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please donate to Crocky. This is a very, very good source. And Crocky, you be careful out there in that Twitter now.
Oh, yeah. I know. I appreciate you.
You got a brand now, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. I'm out. Take care.
All right. Appreciate it. Here we go. Get to some of these super chats. Here we go. Can we call Cap for this game? I don't think Cap is walking through those doors, man. We all know how Kaepernick performed against Green Bay in the playoffs. Obviously, broke their rushing record, 181 yards in the game. Threw the ball all over. The crazy thing is about that first game, and that was Kaepernick's first playoff game. This was his second season, but obviously first year starting. It was like he had started half the games that year. He started that game with a pick six. Talk about nerves and anxiousness, right? He started that game with a pick six. And here's the difference between Kaepernick and Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, and this is no fault to Jimmy. They are definitely different quarterbacks stylistically. But Kaepernick can throw that pick six and turn around and show you several plays as to why we're going to win this because I'm going to do X, Y, Z. So, okay, yeah, I threw a pick six, and then maybe I dug us in that little hole. But next drive, I'm using my legs. I'm running down, running into the end zone, kissing my arms. I'm throwing strikes downfield to Vernon Davis. I'm taking off 81-yard touchdown runs. I'm throwing strikes to Crabtree. We're playing in the snow. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to put you on my back. All right, we're playing in the cold weather. It's 0 degrees in Lambeau Field. First down the sideline, put us in field goal range. I mean, he made so many plays. Like, he made plays. He made throws. He made plays. Was he the Pierce to passers and things like that? Like that. But he was so dynamic. He made so many plays. And teams, when I ask former players, like, hey, man, what'd you think about Cap? They're like, Cap was a motherfucker, man. Like, you had to really account for him because he can, whether he's throwing the ball downfield or throwing strikes, whatever it is, you had to account for the explosibility from him, whether it was on the ground or with his arm. And it didn't matter the elements. I know everything fell off the tracks. The 49ers lost so many players, and everybody, you talk about win-loss records. But, man, that team that he played with 2015, 2016, it was – come on, man. It was terrible. Coaching was terrible. Players were terrible. It was probably one of the worst situations in the NFL. But when they had that team together, man, he was dangerous. He was dangerous. But, yeah, Cap ain't walking through them doors. Jimmy lovers always give Jimmy all the credit for the wins and always blame everyone else for the losses. Can't admit when Jimmy screws up because cost a loss. What? Screws up or causes a loss. Jimmy... I think that here's the issue with Jimmy Garoppolo. I talked about Kaepernick. He could throw the pick six on the first drive of the game and then just boom, 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 right? With Jimmy, there's a lot less room for error. So I think that's what the issue is. He doesn't do enough to, like, add to the explosibility of the offense. So when he does make a mistake, just like everybody, like all quarterbacks make mistakes. But when he does make a mistake, it's like magnified because you probably feel like for the, are we going to get that chance back? Are we going to get that opportunity back? And I think that might be kind of the bigger issue when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo. Your room for error is smaller and the mistakes are kind of magnified. If I had to guess. All right, we got another super chat. Where's it at? Appreciate all the comments rolling in. Where's the link to call in? I'll post the link in just a second. Here we go. Keep up the great work, Croc. We appreciate all the hustle. And, somebody got to do it. You feel me? Here's the link again if you guys want to call in. I ideally want to get to somebody, and I got a couple people waiting. I'm about to get you guys on right now. I want to get people on that. Like, I want to know, like, why so much love for Jimmy to the point where it's like, hey, like, that's the person I want on. The person, like, I got so much love for him. Like, I don't even want them to play Trey Lance next year. Nobody, like, there are those people out there, and I want to hear that mindset because me, I don't have like loyalty one way or the other to Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo. I have my vision of how I see things and how they play out. But I would love to hear, like, no, Croc, this is why you're wrong. So, like, I really would love that person to come on to the chat. Here we go. Got my guy Vetty coming on from the DMV. Vetty, what's good, man?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Crocker. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Real quick. Hold on. I want to say one thing to this person right here. He says, if Jimmy sucks, I can't even imagine what Lance is. See, I don't think Jimmy sucks. Now, maybe you're our guy JM617. Maybe you're feeding into trolls or people that, they're not really looking at the full scope of things. But I don't think Jimmy sucks. I just think there's less room for error with him. I'll say that. And typically, he's going to put you in a position to where it might not hurt him as much, right? There's just some limitations there. So I don't think Jimmy sucks.
No.
And I don't think anything about Jimmy right now has anything to do with Trey Lance, who's a rookie. All right, but what's good, Vetty?
I think I got some really interesting points, man. For one, I'm tired of talking about Jimmy G, man. We all should be, but it's a fact and it needs to be addressed. And I hope I don't offend anybody, but I think it's a few reasons that it's so controversial. And to be honest with you, it represents the status of our country right now. It reminds me a lot of politics, and I think that there might even be some type of racial divide in it as well. It's one and the same, And people, it's like some say if you were a Republican or a Trump follower, you don't necessarily, you see them proud when they're together, and that's when you hear about them. But on a day-to-day basis, most people don't act like that or don't claim to be a Trump follower or Republican or a Jimmy follower, a Jimmy lover. Until there's 20 of them together, then all of a sudden it's a big thing. Not to say that it's wrong or right, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that has something to do with it. But that being said, I think Jimmy is a good quarterback. I think Jimmy is good enough to win a Super Bowl right now.
Yeah.
And I think that and the team chose Trey Lance for the reason that they said. They didn't lie to us. They chose to get a Trey Lance because Jimmy G was prone to injury. Not because Jimmy G sucks. Jimmy G really did take us to the Super Bowl and really would have took us to the playoffs last year. But he got hurt, like he always does. That's what I believe. They weren't lying. It's the truth. Now, I also want to say that I would love to see Trey Lance play. I wanted to see him at the beginning of the season anyway. I wish he would have played the whole season. But I'm not a professional. I'm not getting paid to do this. Or I'm a fan. So I really don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Look at us now. We might win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? What if we win you know what I mean? So I just wanted to put them points out. Y'all can eat off that, man. But I think those are some good points right there, man.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna get to the next caller, bro.
All right.
All right. I hear people. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, right? Until I see the proof and whatnot. And obviously, kind of got me in some trouble over the weekend. But I try to see the true intentions of people, and I hope that people aren't propping up Jimmy Garoppolo to put down Trey Lance because of this racial thing, because one is black, one's white or Italian or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That can't be the case. I hope not. I'd hope that the fan base is bigger than that. I have heard some people say that, there is the whole Kaepernick thing and all that. I mean, I don't know. I hope that's not. Maybe I'm wrong. What's my guy Keith Murray got to say about all this?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, bro. How you doing?
Good. I personally think Jimmy is good, which is not equal to great. I put him. Me and my boys was ranking him. I put him somewhere between 17 and 20. The things that I can't tolerate or that really get on my nerves is the egregious elementary school type of mistakes. Like the pick was very bad, but that happens in the course of the game. People throw bad picks. But for you to snap that ball before Trent Williams gets set, that is not that's ABC 1, 2, 3 type of stuff. You know what I mean? He was the one person that I felt like, I don't know if he does it on purpose, but it's like, you know what? This game is going too smooth. Let's go ahead and make this thing more entertaining. Because we have 23-7, man. Throw the ball away and drive and punt. They can't even move the ball on our defense. And you turn it over. Like, that kind of stuff I don't understand.
Yeah. And that goes to kind of what I was saying about, there's not as much room for error with Jimmy. And I think that's the part that a lot of people it's the context of that, right? So it's like, because there's not as much room for error, it's like, oh, he sucks. I'm like, man, Jimmy don't suck. You could point to a lot of things that I think Jimmy does extremely well, but you also know that, there's just less room for error. I think it kind of comes down to that.
And so that's the thing. He's a better Trent Dilfer, right? But Trent Dilfer didn't make those kind of mistakes. You know what I mean? It's the mistakes.
You can't. I got to give him a little bit more respect than Trent Dilfer, right?
I said he's better than Trent Dilfer, but Trent Dilfer would handle the ball off the whole whatever. I don't remember a Trent Dilfer gaff mistake. He didn't put that Baltimore defense in harm's way, and Jimmy just tends to do 5 picks in the last 3 games. That's what he does. Like, don't throw it away. Like, how often do you see Jimmy throw the ball away?
Yeah, not often. But I think that's
mean,
because he's not really well. I don't think he throws it away, or I don't think he's not throwing the ball away enough because he plays in rhythm, right? Jimmy plays in rhythm and timing. So when he drops back, he's dropping back to get the ball out of his hands right now. So I think you're less likely to see him throw the ball away as opposed to a quarterback that is looking to extend plays and make plays and push the ball down the field and everybody's covered. Okay, I need to throw the ball away. That's not really like a part of Jimmy Garoppolo's game.
The pick he threw the other day, he had escaped the pocket and was out on the perimeter. Throw the ball away.
But the guy was wide open. He was wide open though.
Well, Sherfield was open, but obviously he didn't hit him. I mean, he had sailed a couple balls. You can just see he wasn't on, and that's fine. But you have to be self-aware, and I think that's a strength and weakness of his, right? Like, he throw a pick. I think we all stress about it as fans, but I don't think he does. I think he's like, on to the next play. And I would say he lacks the self-awareness to say, like, okay, I need to calm down. No, he seems like he's flighty a little bit, like an airhead. Like, I'm just gonna play. Like, sometimes you gotta think the game. You know what I mean? And I just feel like he does that. But before I get off, it's the same question I asked when you had your Cowboys fan on here last week. What is the matchup like for us in the trenches? And do you think we can kind of get the push that we got 2 years ago? And thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, all good. Ooh, that's a great question to send off with. I'm going to put you backstage. I like the 49ers front on both sides of the ball against anybody. And I don't think there's anybody where it's like, oh, man, they're just going to bully the 49ers up front on offense or on defense. So, and I think this matchup, because the Cowboys have some nasty dudes, and Green Bay, they're solid up front. Their offensive line getting back to Ari back and some of those guys, I think that helps. People kind of forget. And I talked about the differences in who the 49ers had and didn't have playing when we first got on here. But, the Packers were down to like their third string left tackle in that game. So they've gotten a lot healthier as well. I believe they just got Zadarius Smith back, Jair Alexander back. So, they're getting some reinforcements coming back as well. I got my guy. Hold on. Where's it at? I see my guy Rich in the chat. And Rich said, dang, I can't. Oh, right here. He said, Crocky, why do you spend so much time defending Jimmy? I think it comes off as I've said this. Y'all that have been listening to me for a while know this. If it were up to me, Jimmy Garoppolo would not be on the team, right? There wouldn't be no Jimmy Garoppolo on this team right now. I would went with the rookie and, okay, whatever ups and downs and whatever, go through that. Once you play him, I get why you play him. And I try to just bring like a non-biased perspective to the Jimmy Garoppolo conversation because there are so many people that are just so torn on each side, right? Like, you hate him over here, you love him over here. There are a few people that are in between. And me, I try to just be the person that looks at it from the perspective of why I understand why he plays. And I understand what he is and what he isn't. And I try to bring that to the show instead of pushing a narrative to divide the fan base on this topic even more. All right. So it comes off as if I'm defending him. But really, if you really listen, I feel like I've had level-headed opinions on, when the 49ers are 2-4, I'm like, well, why would I stay with Jimmy Garoppolo when the 49ers are losing regardless? So go with the rookie, right? I try to bring that type of perspective. So it might come off as if I'm like defending him, but really I just try to see both sides of it. I hope that makes sense. Appreciate the comment, though. My guy, Rich. All right, here we go. Got J Law coming on. J Law, good morning, bro. How you doing?
Good morning, Crocky. Happy, what are we, Wednesday? Today, Wednesday? Yeah.
It is Wednesday. It's hump day. Yeah.
We almost there, man. Saturday going to be Green Bay. And I'm beyond excited. But kind of just to touch base, because you wanted to hear from a Jimmy stan, and I don't think I'm a Jimmy stan, but I do find myself defending Jimmy. And I think a lot of that comes from me just being a very, very lifelong fan. I've been a fan since Steve Young was our quarterback. I had to go through some tough times. Jeff Garcia was pretty much the last quarterback I really got to cheer for. I was a huge Alex Smith fan. Really liked him. I was super upset when he got that concussion and we went with Kaepernick. Now, I'm not saying I didn't like Kaepernick, because I did. I thought he had a lot of talent, but he was kind of a one-trick pony. They figured him out, and then he couldn't do anything anymore. And when it comes to Jimmy, because I have been a fan of the Niners for so long, and I took some heat last week against Cowboys fans. I've got a brother who's a Cowboys fan, and two of my best friends are Cowboys fans. And I took Crocky, as soon as they found out they were playing the Niners, I started hearing it from all ends. Yeah. And I was getting all shaky, and I wanted to fight people. And I was like, "Nah, you fucking leave my Niners alone, blah, blah, blah." Sorry for the F-bomb.
You're good.
And, like, they were trying to get me to put money on our Niners versus the Cowboys. And I'm just like, look, guys, if the Niners come out and play their brand of football, which includes Jimmy right now, which is the smash mouth, I'm going to run it down your throat. And then when you finally decide you're going to be able to stop the run a little bit, Jimmy's going to start throwing those dink and dunk 10-yard passes right over the middle of you because you're selling out on the run. And Jimmy Garoppolo, for the faults that he has, he's charismatic back there. He holds his composure well, even after those boneheaded mistakes that he makes, because he does. I'm not discounting that. The guy is going to do an overthrow. He's going to underthrow. He's going to cause a wide receiver or our favorite tight end to take a hit they shouldn't have. And those are the moments that make me cringe, because I don't want to watch anybody else get dismantled or hurt because of his mistake. That's when I start having an issue with Jimmy. But when it comes to his playability and his consistency, let's be real. When he's healthy, we win games. We win games. And I know everybody's going to say, but the win isn't an actual statistic. No, but the leadership he brings in those wins is. He holds down the locker room. And when you have players like Deebo Samuel, who is arguably one of the best players in the league right now, when you have people like Trent Williams, who is arguably the best lineman in the league right now, and people like our favorite tight end, Kittle, coming to bat and saying, nah, Jimmy is the guy. He's the reason that we're even contemplating going to the Super Bowl right now. That is an intangible stat line that not everybody appreciates. And last time you and I talked, Croc, we talked about the leadership in the locker room. We brought up Fred Warner and we brought up Kittle. And Jimmy Garoppolo is kind of the icky, sticky glue that holds that all together. He may not be the most explosive person, but his composure and his, what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence when it comes to being in a game and how the Niners are going to fare in that game, the players feed off of that. I think it was 2 games ago against the Rams. They interviewed Brandon Ayuk, and they were like, hey, what's it like being in the huddle when you're in that moment? And he goes, it's kind of hard to think you're going to lose or anything other than that we're going to win when your quarterback says, all right, let's go get that touchdown and win the game. And it's like, that's the stuff that Jimmy brings. And that's why the locker room is so entrenched with him. That's why we've only gotten to see Trey Lance 2.5 times this season. Now, I do believe that if Jimmy Garoppolo's shoulder is not good to go, I think we see Trey Lance this weekend. Because after watching the way that Jimmy Garoppolo plays against the Cowboys, I was so ready to shove it down the Cowboys' throats that Jimmy G is better than freaking Dak Prescott, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop, where you at, Cowboys? Let's go. Like, I was so ready for that. And then the second half happened. And my heart went from being in my chest to in my colon. And I could feel it beating every time Jimmy touched the ball. And when he had that offside, like when he snapped the ball too quick because Trent Williams wasn't set yet, like one of your callers said it best. That is the type of boneheaded mistakes Jimmy makes, but he's only going to make one or two of them a game. How many boneheaded mistakes did Dak Prescott make in that game? I'll take Jimmy G in that game over Dak Prescott.
Right. Now, it's hard to say that because, different situations, right? You have one defense that came out firing on all cylinders with the 49ers. You get comfortable. The run game is clicking as opposed to, Dak Prescott, who the run game was not working at all for them early on. Everything was on him. They were getting backed up. He was getting sacked. He was under constant duress throughout the game. It started from really his first time dropping back. So it's hard to say, well, I'll take Jimmy. I will take Jimmy's performance over Dak's, yes. But
that's what
if you flip their, teams and you put Jimmy in Dak's situation as opposed to Dak on 49ers with how they performed in that game, you see what I'm saying? It kind of changes. But I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to get to the next caller real quick, and we got to still get back to some Green Bay Packer talk. So I appreciate you coming on, bro.
No, thank you. Thank you. You have a good one.
All right, here we go. I got my guy Jeffrey Ray coming on. Jeff, how you doing, man?
Oh, what's up, Crocker? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Are you quote unquote a Jimmy stan?
No, I'm not a Jimmy stan. No, I'm not.
Okay.
I just wanted to say a couple things real quick. It just makes sense to me that over the course of the season, you got a lot of people just die-hard fans of Jimmy saying that that he's the only option and that we need to sit Trey Lance and leave this dude out there and let him. Oh shit, man! I'm sorry. I'm super nervous. Anyway,
Well, why are you nervous?
I'm just being on the show, man. I've been watching you all season.
Oh man, you're good.
Man. I appreciate you letting me on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just take your time. Take your time. You're good.
Anyway, the way I was seeing it is you got a lot of the media and stuff saying that going off of Jimmy's stats, that they're saying that in all these games that Jimmy has performed well and won games. But the issues for me is how many of those games that have we been in where we've all almost like been on the verge of a heart attack because of the decisions he's made inside those games. Yeah. He's won the games, but he's made boneheaded decisions inside those games that all have us on the edge of our seat. Now sitting Trey Lance, I think is the right decision this year because we all saw what happens to quarterbacks that have legs and that can move out of the pocket, and we all saw what happened to Kyler Murray the other day, right?
Yeah.
So teaching Lance that he needs to stay in that pocket and have some pocket presence because we knew how he played when he was in college. He had legs and he'd get out of the pocket and just take off. But we want him to learn that he needs to feel safe inside that pocket.
Yep. Yeah, no, and there is a lot to that, when it pertains to Trey Lance, and we'll get into him probably this offseason, right? Listen, I'm here in the offseason. I think I'm going to do 4 days a week, but we're going to be here down there every morning in the offseason. So there'll be a lot of time to talk about Trey Lance and kind of what to expect from him. But I do think there is an element of the 49ers wanting to solely develop him as a pure pocket passer. And I like that approach, right? That's why I believe we don't see the packages that we thought we were going to see. Kyle Shanahan, from what he's showing us, he doesn't view Trey Lance as a package quarterback. He views him as, hey, you are an extension of what we already do. You're an extension of Jimmy Garoppolo as far as your tools can take you in your ability, but we got to teach you to play more comfortable in the pocket. So he's just, take your time with that. And we're going to roll with Jimmy right now. As it pertains to Jimmy, and everybody has kind of touched on already, but yeah, you gotta live with, some weird moments. But aside from that, I think, I was at the game, dude, I felt like my heart was like about to jump out my skin.
Every single game this season.
You're up 23-7. How do you not put your foot on this team throat? And it's hard to blow out teams in the NFL. It is. It's really hard. But when you do have that opportunity, like the Rams had against the Cardinals, like
Uh-huh.
the Bucks had against the Eagles, you step on their throats. When that opportunity presents itself, you do it. I think sometimes Jimmy has a hard time doing that. But I appreciate you coming on.
Hey,
Come
real
on
quick,
anytime, man. Oh yeah, go
all
ahead.
right, cool. I appreciate it. Hey, do you think that Jimmy has another Saints game in his repertoire ready for us? You think that it's possible that he could step up to the plate and do that again?
I think he's done it several times. I think people dismiss some of the other games because maybe the opponent or something like that. But I believe, you go back 2019. I think his games against the Cardinals, those 2 times, right? In the Cardinals games, he threw for over 800 yards, 8 touchdowns in 2
Mm-hmm.
games.
I lost you, bro. There you are.
You guys got me.
Yep.
Got me. All right. I don't know what the hell happened. But I don't think that he. I think because the Saints game, it was just on such a big stage, and it was like he's going toe to toe with Drew Brees, but he's had games like that. So
Cool. Thanks for having me on, Carl. I appreciate it, man.
All right, all good. All right, here we go. Got my guy Darius coming on. What's good, Darius?
Oh man, enjoying this show, bro. It's been a good one, bro. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling.
Yeah. So first off, I feel like Trey is getting used to being in the pocket. I just wanted to put that out there since it was in the air already. That Texans game, like that second half when he settled down, and that one throw that Jimmy had to pick on, like I don't mind him moving around when he has to. I'd rather him try to create a play than just to sit there and just take a sack or because the pick is going to happen. Like if we don't know that about Jimmy by now, you know what I'm saying? I hope they don't. I hope they don't come this weekend because the Packers they're getting. I think you already said it. Jair Alexander, Darius Smith back, but they're also getting Whitney Marcellus, Rashawn Gray. I think Preston Smith he's been playing. Devondre Campbell. They got a nice little pass rush, bro, and Jimmy is 2-6 now when he throws the pick, and I know he's been defying the odds, and he's been, breaking the mold lately. But I don't want to keep playing with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we can run the ball this week, I would love that. To me, it's about stopping Devontae Adams. Green Bay 7-0 when he receives 100 yards or better. Like that rush has to step up this week. Niners they 10-3 when Bosa has a half a sack or better. So with that being said, that D line is playing out of his mind. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Charles Omenihu, Samson Ebukam, like even Katavius Street, other boy Arden Key. Like everybody's doing their stuff, bro, and I'm loving it. Like if we can put pressure on Aaron and keep that run game going. I remember y'all said Elijah Mitchell was out last game, which was I guess I could have affected it. I always felt like when Josh Norman went out, that's kind of what tilted that game because that last drive and the whole shabaka with that. But I don't know, man. I'm just really anxious to see this, bro. Like on the road, and yeah, it's all on Jimmy. But with this whole shoulder situation, bro, like that's what I'm getting tired of. I'm getting tired of like every time like he does have a bad game or whatever, it's some type of excuse on why it happened. And
I'll say
know,
this
man.
real quick, D. I don't think, and I'm gonna get you off. I appreciate you coming on. And so I get to the next caller. I think everybody. It comes out in that. It comes out that. Oh, Kyle. Oh yeah, Jimmy had a shoulder sprain or he had something. But I don't think it's him defending Jimmy Garoppolo for some of his bad play and stuff like that. The injuries have to be reported. The injuries have to be reported because people gamble on these games. If you've noticed when you start talking about the shoulder and things like that, what happens? The Vegas line moves. The game started off at 4.5 or 5 or whatever. Then it was 5.5. Then it's 6.5. Then it's back down to 5.5. Right? The lines move. So I think that's why Kyle. If it were up to Kyle, he wouldn't tell you anything that's going on with his team. If it were up to Kyle Shanahan, he wouldn't tell you Jimmy got a shoulder sprain or Jimmy's ankle or whatever the case is. He keep that all in house and them just try to figure it out from that standpoint. But when you have to, you got gambling, big, there's a lot of money into that. You gotta kind of, you gotta explain it. Here we go. Got my guy Kenneth Goldsmith coming on. Kenneth, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. What's going on, Croc?
Oh man, I'm chilling, bro.
Yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on this topic. I just want to give a little quick take, my opinion on the whole Jimmy G suck thing. My thing is he can execute the quick game to perfection, but when it comes to executing other plays when the opportunity is there, he can't get through with it. So that's my honest opinion on that. Okay. And I just want to get into this Green Bay and Niners game. I hope he's able to play in this game because he will give us a better shot at beating Green Bay right now. And that's so unfair to trade that he will have to come in this big time moment and have to perform. And if he don't perform, the fans gonna kill him for it when he ain't been on the field, being ready for this moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I agree with you that Jimmy Garoppolo definitely gives the 49ers the best chance to win going into this game. But I just want to hear your reason behind it.
Behind
why he gives them the best chance to win Saturday night.
Well, he's been prepared all season for moments like this. That's my opinion on it. Like, you just can't just throw Trey in when he only played 1.5 games, because this is a big time game, Yeah. And I'm confident in Trey, but it's just so unfair for him to be in this moment, not getting all the reps. Green Bay defense is not bad.
Right.
And I think they're going to throw a lot of things at him that he ain't seen because he ain't played in so long.
Yeah.
And I think we definitely going to have to get our running game going. It's just something about that right side of that offensive line when it comes to pass protection that bothers me.
Yeah.
Because
go ahead.
Because when we played against Dallas, man, it was a lot of plays with it on that right side. Man, their D line was just blowing up the plays and in the backfield. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. But all right, Kent, I'm gonna get you off and get the next caller on. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
All right, thanks for having me on, Croc. You be good.
All right, here we go. I got my guy Snapper G coming on. Snapper G, what's good, man? Good morning. How you doing?
What's happening? How you doing?
I'm good. So we came on really, it was supposed to be talking about the Green Bay Packers and kind of how the 49ers match up with the Green Bay Packers. And maybe we'll get to that, but it kind of turned into this thing where I just wanted to hear people's explanations as to why they are so hard on the quarterbacks one way or the other. There's, you got certain people, they hate Jimmy G and they just don't want to see him play by any means. And then you got another side that's like, no, Trey Lance, he just won't ever be good. So I'm like, man, I just want to hear the fans' perspectives and hear them kind of talk it out as to why they feel that way. So are you on any side of the spectrum here, or you're just like, man, I don't care who plays?
I want to win. So
yeah,
whichever quarterback that gives me the best chance of winning, that's what I want to roll with. Right now it's Jimmy. He's seen a lot more than Trey at this point. So Kyle is going to play the best quarterback. He wants to win too. So I think if Jimmy gives me the best chance to win, and that's what I want to roll with. I mean, he makes mistakes. At times he get out of the pocket, he should throw. But now, I mean, last year he wasn't stepping up in the pocket like he is this year. That I see, he was just getting sacked or maybe fumbling the ball after he gets sacked, and we lose possession somewhere close to the other team's end zone. So he's showing improvement too a little bit. I mean, we winning. I mean, like last 11 weeks, we've been better than everybody in the NFL. So
Yeah, and I think that he's been really, I mean, it started, if everybody remembers, going back to the preseason game where he kind of rolled out. He had like 2 rushing touchdowns. One or he had a rushing touchdown where he went head up with the guys on the goal line. He got up, he spiked the ball. And that was just kind of that like I ain't giving up my spot to this rookie moment. Like that was how I took it, people had been on him and stuff like that. And it was like a big F you to everybody. And since then, I agree, man. I believe that he has done a lot more with being able to make plays on the move. And he'll never be as dynamic as a Trey Lance or anything like that. But just to see him not be a statue when things kind of break down and try to make plays on the move, even when he overthrows a guy and it ends up being an interception. But I still like the thought process of I'm not going to sit in the pocket and get sacked. I'm going to step up. I'm going to move out. I'm going to slide right and try to make a play. I agree with you in the sense of him definitely utilizing his legs a little bit more this season.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather him overthrow a guy than underthrow a guy like he did Sunday. Underthrow, they just sitting there waiting to pick that thing off. So
he did underthrow one, but they dropped it. Do you remember that one? It was like an underneath.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather him overthrow. I mean, he missed Ayuk. Man, Ayuk could have turned up the field and went scored again. And, costly mistake, but we won. So it's a lot of Cowboy fans around here, man, that try to give me a hard time, and I was on them all week saying what we're going to do to them, and we did it. So, but like I was saying in the chat.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Well, I wanted to ask what some of your thoughts were on the Green Bay game, but go ahead with what you're saying in the chat because I didn't see it.
Yeah. I was just telling them, the Cowboy fans that I have around here, that what we're going to do to the Cowboys, But anyway, Green Bay, I think the Cowboys might have a better offensive line than Green Bay. What you think?
I don't know. I don't know how much it matters because Aaron Rodgers is so good at getting the ball out of his hands quick. If you look back to even, the game that they played earlier this year, maybe the game plan was like that because maybe Green Bay was like, man, we don't really have the O-line to block up this 49ers defensive line, but they just got the ball out of their hands right now. I mean, it was catch, throw, catch, quick throw, catch. Everything was just catch and throw. And that's kind of how you offset a good pass rush like what the 49ers have. So they did that in week 3. I'm not sure it matters how good or bad that O-line is. It's all on Aaron Rodgers, really working to get the ball out of his hands quick.
Yeah. I think our best defense is keep him on the sideline. Long run plays, long drives. But we got to go after Kevin King. That's their weak spot in the secondary.
Yeah. Yep.
But thanks for having me in, man. This is my first time calling. I enjoy the show. Keep up what you're doing.
I appreciate it. Call in more.
All right, no doubt.
All right, here we go real quick. Get to the super chat. This is why Jimmy have to go because Lance will basically have the same team next year because we blame Jimmy a lot and Kyle gets off easy. Okay, hold on. I'm going to make sense of it real quick. So Jimmy has to go because Trey Lance is going to have the same team and you won't be able to blame Jimmy. And Kyle gets off easy. So I think you're saying Kyle should get more blame, right? I'm trying to make sense of it. Sorry, guys. Kyle should get more blame. This team is really good. So if the team doesn't perform at this level next year, then you know that Jimmy didn't get the respect that he should have, and it was really Kyle's fault. Is that what you're saying? I think. Is that how y'all are reading it? My guy Philip said, Crocky looking at this comment like an SAT question. Okay, you guys read that for me. Let me know what you guys think about that. All right, real quick, I'm gonna get my guy Dion on. Dion, what are we looking at right there? I think we gotta decode that. We gotta decode that a little bit.
Yeah, hold on. So this is the situation, man.
Look, of course, everybody knows I don't fuck with Jimmy like that at all.
Hold on. Dion, you got to decode this for me real quick. This super chat.
Oh, okay. So what he's saying is this is why Jimmy has to go because Lance will basically have the same team next year. And we blame Jimmy a lot and Kyle gets off easy. That's basically what he's saying. I know it was typed completely all kinds of wrong, but yeah, that's basically what he's saying. He's like, you don't want Jimmy in the locker room next to Lance trying to take over the team because it's going to cause a rift and a divide. Nobody's going to be able to pick sides.
Hold on real quick. Somebody said this question should be on the Wonderlic test. We're not making fun of the question. It was just worded. I appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, no, y'all ain't, bro.
Go ahead. I know you was coming on with your take.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say it like this. Everybody knows me. Everybody in that chat look at me and they're like, "Oh, here come this dude again. He gonna be hating on Jimmy." Yes, I'm gonna hate on Jimmy because I don't like Jimmy. That's my prerogative. Like Bob fucking Brown. And if you don't like it, I don't care. At the end of the day, here's the situation. Dude that was on like right when I requested the link is priceless. He's sitting there loving on Jimmy, and then he's like, "But if his shoulders hurt, I think we might see Lance." Bruh, have you not been watching all season long? Jimmy could go out there with one arm, half a leg, and two toes on the other foot, and Kyle is sending him out there. We're not seeing Trey Lance unless Jimmy is diehard hurt where he cannot actually get on the field. And you saying you would take Dak over Jimmy? Dak threw a touchdown and ran for a touchdown. Jimmy threw an interception and didn't even crack 175 yards. Someone help this guy out. As far as the Packers.
Hold on, real quick. I want to ask you a question real quick. Who's your favorite quarterback in the NFL?
My favorite quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Honestly, when I look at it, it pains me to say this, but I love me some Russell Wilson. I like Russ.
Oh,
I like Russ.
Well, go ahead. Continue with your take.
Yeah, it hurts, but I like Russell. I just like the way he is, man. He's so smooth in the pocket, and he's good when he gets out. He does things well. What I'll say on the game is,
hold on, real quick. One more thing. I know I keep cutting you off. They want to know why you're taking a shower with a hat on.
I'm not taking a shower with a hat on, bro.
I'm just telling you what they said in the chat, man.
Yeah, I know. I was just about to take a shower because I just came from the gym, but I threw my hat on because my head looked fucked up. Don't nobody get on camera and look stupid. It is what it is.
All right.
Because I didn't know when you was going to come to me or not. Either way, At the end of the day, and I know they're going to go hard in the chat. I don't even care, man. It's fun. Clown me. I like to laugh, nigga. I'm good with that. At the end of the day, the matchup is odd because you have to look at what we have. When you go quarterback for quarterback, Aaron Rodgers wins that battle. You go to the running backs, it's a bit of a toss-up because Aaron Jones is great out of the backfield, but we don't utilize Elijah in that way, even though coming out of training camp, everybody said that Elijah was the best receiving threat. Then to top it all off, what else do you have? You have the DBs. You know what I'm saying? You might want to tip your cap a little toward the Green Bay Packers because of the guys that they have. But then again, we look pretty good too. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. We have the better O-line. Bakhtiari did not practice yesterday. So there's a variety of things, you know what I'm saying, that we can touch on when it comes to this Green Bay game. What I did do, though, was I researched our games in the playoffs against Green Bay. You know what is a glaring stat? The run game. Every single time we beat the crap out of them with the run game. Colin Kaepernick, the first game we played against them in 2013, the whole run game in total had 383 damn yards. And Cap had the majority of that. That was Cap and Frank Gore. The next time we played them, nice little running game, Cap and Frank Gore. And we had some guy named Boobie Dixon that scored a touchdown, too. I don't even remember Boobie Dixon at all.
He was number 24.
Okay. And then when we went into the game more recently in 2019, what happened? Raheem the Dream Mostert ran all over their ass. That's the point of it, people. So when you say that Jimmy wins games, Jimmy doesn't win shit. Jimmy barely threw the ball in that NFC Championship game. The run game did that. The defense did that. Even when Cap was playing, it was the run game, but Cap was a part of it. Cap ran for touchdowns and threw for touchdowns.
So these are all facts, people. You can look it up on your own, or if you like, you can go ahead and go to Niner Gang Podcast and check me out. I'm about to go ahead and go live tomorrow and drop all this knowledge on y'all. These are facts, people. You cannot dispute a fact because that's what it is. We will definitely go ahead and take care of the Packers with the run game. If we got to get into a shootout with Aaron Rodgers versus Jimmy Garoppolo, you can kiss the game goodbye. They're not beating Aaron Rodgers in no damn shootout, and we all know that to be a fact. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, and I'm just keeping it. And I know
I would get you on. I got a special guest coming on, and I want to get to. I have a couple of callers. I have 3 callers I need to get to before this last person, and he's very knowledgeable of this. He watches all the film, so I definitely want to get to him. Let me get to these next callers real quick. All right, Dion.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, so I have 3 people in waiting right now. 4 people before we get to Jack. I wanted to say I almost said my special guest. All right, but so what you got to do now is you got to come on and you have to kind of give your take, like your quick take, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to get you off, all right? So that's kind of how we're going to do this right now. And so then we can get to this and get some of this good knowledge that this guy's going to get to us. All right, so real quick. Oh, what? Oh, well, one person just hopped off. All right, Trice, man, what happened? I was about to get you on, Trice. All right, we got 1K Jose. 1K Jose, what's good, man? What's on your mind?
Yo, what up, Croc? Good morning.
Oh, good morning, bro.
Yo, I just wanted to touch up real quick on the Jimmy G whole Jimmy Stan thing. Coming from a former Jimmy Stan, I guess not so much. Just given the recent history, when he first came onto the team, you got to kind of take things into perspective, where the team was at. We were kind of down bad. We've seen a lot of bad quarterback play, time and time again. We passed up on quarterbacks. And to me, like, the whole quarterback situation is like the coach situation. Like, people wanted to fire Kyle Shanahan at the beginning of the year. And, like, I'm like, what are we going to do if we fire him? Like, who are we going to get? Like, we've seen this team with bad coaches before, and 3 coaches in 3 years and stuff. Like, man, I see the QB position the same exact way. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, okay, everybody wants Jimmy gone, like, after the Super Bowl and stuff. There was Brady rumors and Rodgers rumors and blah blah blah, but we knew that wasn't going to happen. And it's like, what else are we going to do? And ever since then, he's been, like, proving people wrong. But then you go to the Super Bowl, he does the overthrow, the playoff run, 8 passes in the divisional game, and then all the narratives start coming out about Jimmy G choking and he can't do this, he can't do that. And people want him gone, but the truth of the fact is, he's a winner. You look at his winning record, he wins games. He can put up some decent stats. He's not going to wow you with, some crazy arm throws and angles and all sorts of stuff. But, he does have that quick release. He can throw off his back foot. He can get the ball out fairly quickly into some tight windows and, some impressive stuff that, we used to see a lot of quarterbacks try things like that. And, it just looked bad and horrible. And I think the one time that I did start kind of falling back on being a Jimmy stan was the injuries and kind of last year when I was already on the Jimmy boat. I'm like, this is his year. He's gonna prove everybody wrong, and then he gets hurt, and then the whole year, we're waiting for him to come back, and then at the end of the year he doesn't come back, and then Martellus Bennett comes down and says that stuff about him, and I'm like, man, I don't know, and you can tell the team.
What did Martellus Bennett say? Because maybe everybody didn't hear what Martellus said. What did he say?
He basically said Jimmy G took a business decision for New England when he was on the trade block. He knew he was about to get traded, and he chose to set out a game the day of the game to sort of. His agent told him, if you sit out the game, your trade value might look a little better than if you played with this injury. And to me, that's basically what it looked like last year. And kind of, I felt like we were about to see the same exact thing again this year, man. And I was just like, oh, here we go again. That's the only thing, my thing on Jimmy, But I think that's the reason why we see him on the field still, and Lance isn't on the field, is because he's trying to prove people wrong. He wants to get that narrative. He wants to get the monkey off his back. He wants people to think like, hey, you know what? I am a baller. I do want to play. And I think that, that's a testament to, the football player that Jimmy Garoppolo is. And we'll see really next year if he does get traded, depending what team he goes to, what kind of competitor he is. Because, if he takes the money and goes to whatever team, mediocre team, bridge quarterback for like the Giants or Houston or whatever, then I don't think that's really a competitor in him. But if he wants to go to a competing team like the Vikings, Miami, all these teams, Pittsburgh,
Real
that's got
quick,
talent,
hold on.
that's just
I want to ask you a question, and then I'm gonna get you
yeah,
off. All right, but I want to ask you a
yeah.
question. Would the Vikings be better to swap out Jimmy Garoppolo for Kirk Cousins? I mean, to swap out Kirk Cousins for Jimmy?
I mean, I don't know if the Vikings is a very good example, but I mean, I'm just kind of thinking of, real quick teams
Teams that
that
could
I
use him.
know might be in the market next year. But I mean, that's just a team that I could see, they.
Uh-oh. I think we lost you. My bad, Jose. We lost you. You had a lot of good takes. I'm gonna get to the last caller right here before I get to the special guest. But hey, good job, 1K Jose. You really did. I thought you had a very logical way of kind of looking at it, from that perspective. I thought that was really good. I see the people in the chat. They're like, Croc, you trying to bait him. I wasn't trying to bait him. He didn't fall for the bait, y'all. He didn't fall for the bait. Terrence, what's good, man? Good morning, bro.
What's up, Crocky? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Blessed.
Good, man. Good. I just wanted to come on, man. I usually listen to you every morning. I don't really come on, but this topic I had to this morning, man. I had to.
Yeah.
I enjoy listening to you, brother. But I'm gonna try to break for you. A lot of times, man, what you have here is you got a lot of casual fans, a lot of casual 49er fans that feel strongly one way or the other
Yeah.
about our starting QB, right? And a lot of times, man, a fan is short for fanatic, you know, and and I understand about being a fan of a team, and a lot of times people just look at it like that. I'm a fan of the 49ers. I'm a fan, right? But they don't break down the football of things. As you well know, you're a player, man. You look at it a little differently. You break down the football aspect of things, and as I do as well. I used to play as well. So when I look at Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't see a bum quarterback. He's not. He's a good quarterback. I look at him as a serviceable quarterback. He's not a. I don't look at him as a 5-star quarterback because he is not that. Can he win games? Yes. Does he win games? Yes. But when the going gets tough, Crocky, a lot of times, man, in certain games, the going's going to get tough. You're going to have another quarterback on the other side of that field that is a 5-star quarterback, such as an Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady. Now, if you get into a one-on-one with those guys, our quarterback is just he's not up to snuff. He's just not on that level. So Kyle Shanahan, he understands what Jimmy Garoppolo's limitations are. He understands what he can do. He understands what he can't do. Jimmy can't throw it out. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I've seen enough evidence that
It's not
guy,
his strength, right? Like he could throw it, but
yeah.
it's not a strength of his.
Yeah, right. It's not. Because you can't just be sailing balls over guys' heads that's wide open. This is the National Football League. There's kids. I'm from the DMV area. I play my football up there, but I live here in the Houston, Texas area. I mean, we got kids down here. If you know about this area, it's a hotbed for quarterbacks. We got kids down here that can hit that pass, man. You know what I mean? But with like it's nothing. And they're not in the NFL. They're in high school. You know what I'm saying? So that's my point. So, as far as 49ers fans, do you want a 5-star quarterback potential to have a 5-star quarterback, or do you just want serviceable? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you okay with just serviceable and barely scraping by winning ball games? Because we have an elite defense. We have and our teams, our strengths of our teams are the defensive line and the offensive line, in my opinion, because that's where the game is won and lost, right there. If you know what you're looking at every Sunday, that's where we win and lose, right there. So I mean, I'm not gonna knock Jimmy. I like Jimmy, but we just want better. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, sir. I hear you. Made a lot of good points. I appreciate you coming on.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
That was good stuff. Shout out to my guy Terrence from H-Town. Or he's from the DMV out there in H-Town. I got a lot of family out there in the DMV area. But I appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
All right, here we go. Now I got my special guest coming on. All right, he's been very patient. If you haven't already, we got over almost 400 people in here right now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you like this show. Today, it took a turn, right? I mean, we came on here and I started talking about things, the Packers, and I'm giving you DVOA numbers and their offense against 49ers defense and run games and all that. And somehow we got on the topic of Jimmy Garoppolo. And I was like, I know, I hear you. I saw Chrissy, our friend Chrissy in the chat. She's like, I'm tired of the Jimmy Garoppolo talk. And it's like, man, I get it. But somehow we got on it. And I just wanted to give everybody a chance to kind of, and I really wanted to go more towards the people that like love Jimmy and get that perspective on it, just so, the other side can kind of hear it, right? We want to be a little neutral, all right? But anyways, here we go. With no further ado, if you like this show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also listen to my guy Jackhammer and what he does writing for SI 49ers. Jackhammer, good morning, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing good. So I think you kind of heard me
I lost you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Let me make sure that, I don't know, my audio has been kind of okay. Yeah, I'm back on my mic. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to ask you, and I'm gonna from two different perspectives. One, just should be back. You got me? I don't. My laptop updated last night, and then ever since then, it's been like it like randomly does something with the USB not being connected and stuff. I don't know. It's been really weird.
That
so
happens.
hopefully, again, we'll get out of here. I don't know. Maybe I need to buy a third cord. I just bought a new cord, and it was like, oh, I'm good. It's working. And then now all of a sudden I'm having these issues. But somebody said, where's Radio Shack when you need it? And we ain't got no Radio Shack in Montesville, Arkansas. All right. Yeah, my guy JM617 he said it's Jimmy's fault Croc's mic isn't working. All right, but I want to get your perspective just on two things. One, the divide between Jimmy Garoppolo and how people feel about him. And then I'll follow up with just kind of what you're expecting to see from him heading into this new week. But why such divide over Jimmy Garoppolo, someone who has won so many games playing for the 49ers?
I think it really comes down to the fact that the guy gets paid $27 million. I think if he was still on his initial deal, like say Trey Lance or, when he was with New England, his play would be okay and people would be happy with it because the 49ers win at a high rate when he's on the field. He puts up good numbers. I know that he a lot of that comes because of the yards after catch and things like that. But somebody's got to get the ball to him in position to run with it, right? It's not all the receivers. A big part of it is, but not all of it. I just think it really comes down to the amount of money that he's getting paid. And beyond that, I don't really understand the over the top negativity towards Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's where I am. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not up here with him. I'm not down here with him. I'm in the middle. And even that guy in the middle, I just kind of like to push back on those people that are just ripping him constantly.
Right. So, when you watch him have performances like he has really over the last 2 games, over the last 2 weeks, where, and we'll even take it back to maybe even the Tennessee game, right? You see him in the Tennessee, and it's kind of a tale of, I don't even want to say 2 halves, but you see like 2 different versions of Jimmy Garoppolo. And then you go to the Rams game, and again, you kind of see 2 different versions of Jimmy G. And then Cowboys game, again, 2 different versions of Jimmy G. Are we looking at 2 different versions of him, or are we looking at one version, and that's just who he is?
I think we're just looking at one version of him, and that's pretty much who he is. I don't think he was as bad in the first half against the Rams as people want to say that he was. I thought that there was a lot of other things that went into play around him in that caused some of the issues in the first half against the Rams. One being the 49ers didn't really have the ball all that much in that first half. They only ran, I think, 16 plays before the 2-minute drive at the end, before they got the field goal. And then Yeah, the Tennessee game was just bad. I mean, he had a great opening drive, and then the interception in the end zone, and the throw to Juszczyk, the wheels just kind of fell off on a couple of plays there, and then he comes back at the end. So he's up and down. He's I've written this a couple of times this year. Jimmy Garoppolo is a roller coaster over at Great America, right? You get on that thing and you strap in and you go for a ride. You're up and down, twists and turns, corkscrews and everything else, and you just hope you arrive at the end safely. And the deal with it is that while he gives everybody heart attack with how close the games turn out, he's usually a part of the reason why they win, just like he is a part of the reason why they lose.
All right, we got Jackhammer right now with us. Are you going to the game? Because I know you cover the 49ers. You are on the beat now, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I am, but I'm not able to travel because I've got to pay out of my own pocket, and I'm not.
Yeah,
don't have it yet. Don't have it yet.
So real quick, so Jackhammer, do you agree that Jimmy is the arsonist and the firefighter? And I think firefighters are heroes. And when I look at Jimmy Garoppolo, I think a lot of times in games he plays hero, right? Several times and I get pushback on this, but there aren't many quarterbacks I would like to have the ball in their hand down 4 points with 2 minutes to go, right? Like, I feel like when he has the ball in his hands at that time, I feel like he's going to put the 49ers in position to either tie the game up or win or whatever the case is. So I think that would be him being the firefighter. But do you think he's also the arsonist, the guy that kind of starts the fire in? Some of his play within games makes games end up being closer than what they have to be, like the Dallas Cowboy game.
I think you could say that about almost every quarterback in the league. In a lot of ways. There's games that happens a lot with everybody, and I think I don't like the analogy myself. I mean, last week, if you look at the game against Dallas, it's the opposite, right? He played a big portion of the 49ers being up to where they were able to sustain and get through the mistake. So last week was he the firefighter in the first half and then the arsonist in the second half, and then he came back with his little hose to squirt it down at the end. I don't know, right? But I think he definitely likes to keep things close. It would be nice to see him go out and blow out a team and not have to make it so close. That's for sure. He's a flawed quarterback who executes very well in the system that he's in, and he did it in New England when he was up there the first couple starts of his career too.
When you look at, how he plays and how Kyle has constructed the offense against, for him, right? And I think that definitely helps kind of contribute to the win-loss record, right? Kyle understands who Jimmy is and who he isn't and what his strengths are. And he has constructed the offense around him to where he's able to get Jimmy to play at a pretty good level, right? Mm-hmm. And I tell people all the time, Jimmy might be a, 15 to 18 quarterback, ranking-wise in the NFL. But with Kyle Shanahan's offense and how he's constructed things and, kind of helps with efficiency or whatever the case is, I think he plays at more of around top 9-10 type level throughout some games, or at least has stretches of being able to do that. Do you think that's accurate, or you're like, nah, he is what he is. He is a 17th or 18th quarterback, and everybody that is ahead of him would just be far and better in any type of offense?
No, I think that's a fair statement what you said there. The way that he operates within Kyle Shanahan's system and the way that they work together, they have the number one passing offense in the league for a reason. When you go to net yards per pass attempt, the 49ers are number one. And that's partly due to the fact that they understand each other. And there's a reason why Kyle Shanahan kept throwing him out there this year, because he knows how to work with them. And Garoppolo is able to stick the balls in some tight windows on receivers that people, other quarterbacks might not. And I think that's why when you look at Garoppolo, and I know there's a big complaint with him where he doesn't throw the ball downfield a lot, but he still has a high rate of interceptions. Some of that is because he's trying to stick the ball into windows that he shouldn't be trying to stick it into, and he should be checking down instead to running backs instead of hitting the receivers at that second level crosser, about 10 to 15 yards. But he's a really good quarterback for what they ask him to do, and I don't know where I'd put him in terms of a ranking or anything like that, but I think you're right. I think a top 8 or 9 when they're dealing is an accurate number.
Right, and there have been a lot of people like, man, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's the worst quarterback in the playoffs or whatever. And I always tell people, like, you have to kind of throw that out the window, because with the weapons that he has and the offensive coordinator that he has, he can be the 7th best quarterback in the NFC heading into the playoffs, 6th, because better than Jalen Hurts for sure. But Kyle and Jimmy, like when Kyle plays to Jimmy's strengths, he gets him to play at what I believe is one of the higher levels in the NFC. When you look at this game going into Green Bay, and we know what the elements are going to be, Jimmy Garoppolo has come out and said, like, dude, I played in this my whole life, growing up in the Chicago area, going to Eastern Illinois. Playing in cold weather isn't anything new to him, or gusty winds. But, you know, we know that he's not 100% healthy. He's dealing with a thumb injury. Now they're talking about a shoulder sprain. Do you think some of those things might have to kind of limit the way Kyle Shanahan calls plays for him?
I don't think they're going to limit things. I think they're going to go out and do what they do, which is they're going to run the ball and then they're going to play action off of it. And they're going to ask him to hit those intermediate throws that they typically do. And, you know, maybe even a couple of throws down the field, not deep throws down the field. They don't usually do that with them, but, you know, like the leak routes and those kind of things. That's a deep throw for Jimmy Garoppolo, right? About 30 yards down the field. And I would expect them to come out and just play 49er football. If they're going to run the ball, and Jimmy Garoppolo is going to throw off a play action, and he's going to get the ball to Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle, and I think they'll move the ball at a pretty decent clip on Sunday.
Well, that's going to be exciting, man. Well, Jackhammer, I appreciate you coming on. Let everybody know where they can find you and all of your work that you're doing.
Yeah, well, I'm over at 49ers.pressdemocrat.com, the Inside the 49ers blog there. That's where I write. And then I have a YouTube channel. I believe it's Jackhammer 49. I always forget what that is. But I have a YouTube. I'm on YouTube and on Twitter at Jackhammer_NFL. So you can find me there.
Go to his Twitter, Jackhammer at Jackhammer NFL.
Yeah, Jackhammer_NFL.
All right, go to that, and I'm pretty sure they could probably find a lot of your work that you're doing on your timeline.
Yeah, it's all there, and the link to the YouTube channel is there as well.
All right, man, Jack, I appreciate you coming on last minute.
No problem. I saw my name. I saw you say something about it with the little graphic I tweeted out last night, and I've never had a chance to talk to you. And so when you said that, I'm like, I'm going to jump on here real quick and talk to Eric, because I like hearing you talk. You break down stuff real good from, old ball player yourself, and it's funny. Real quick, I know you played for the SaberCats. Real funny story on the SaberCats. When they first started, the first year of the SaberCats, they did a tryout for like anybody that wanted to show up could show up.
Yeah.
And so me and my buddy, I just got done playing junior college and sat around and we're like, hey, let's go. And we went up and tried out for the it was fun. Trying to throw the ball on a 50-yard field like that. It was a fun day.
Different, huh? I mean, the angles and everything on it changed. It was a transition for me going from an outdoor, game in college, and then my first professional experience was playing in the Arena League. And I had to change everything that I do. And then all of a sudden I signed with the New York Jets. And now all of a sudden I have to learn how to play back outdoors and understand, like, hey, I'm getting too much depth in my back pedal and I got to slow it down. And there was that transition. Now all of a sudden I'm released from the Jets. Now I'm back in the Arena League and now everything is thrown off. So luckily for me, I had a good Arena League career. And, I won my championship with the San Jose SaberCats right there. I keep that ring near me. So, I appreciate everything the SaberCats did for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was a big SaberCats fan back when they were around. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But thanks for having me on,
I appreciate you coming on for sure.
Yeah. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Shout out to Jackhammer coming on last minute. That wasn't something that was planned. I saw that I was tagged on Twitter. Someone said, "Hey, Croc's doing his morning show right now." Jackhammer was in there, and I'm like, man, I want to get that perspective because I know, he does a lot of good things when it comes to breaking down the film, talking about quarterbacks. And I know he goes on there with Grant Cohn. I've heard him talk on there several times. And I think it just gives a really good perspective on, really just the game of football, the quarterback position, and how he sees everything. So shout out to everybody that's been in the chat so far today. Again, if you like this show, you're new to it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're here 5 days a week, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We come on here live, baby. We come on here live. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a Packer person come on here. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of everything that's going on with the Green Bay Packers, where they are, how do they match up with the 49ers? I think it's a good matchup for the 49ers, but we're going to hear what they have to say. But I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all know what it is. Until next time, man, we are out. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Croc Talk TV podcast. Peace.